this is even better than we expected as Oilers CEO Jeff Jackson drops a bomb on the McDavid extension there, how the two sides came to be, and putting any and all trade rumors to rest there for number 97 and making sure that he stays an Oiler for the rest of his career. All that more today here on Oilers Digest as the Oilers take on the 2025 first overall pick Matthew Schaefer and the New York Islanders on Long Island tonight. And it's a matchup with the 2015 first overall pick against the 2025, and it should be a very, very interesting matchup tonight. The Oilers, always on Long Island, always an interesting matchup there. And make sure you stay tuned here to Oilers Digest, as 71% of you haven't subscribed to the channel, so make sure you hit that button for any and all Oiler news. Oilers Digest, folks, is the place to be. Now we're still waiting for Connor McDavid to score his first goal of the season, but we still, we don't have to wait for his future in Edmonton, as the 2-year contract extension sealed the deal on his thoughts in Edmonton there. And the Oilers CEO Jeff Jackson wasn't worried whatsoever. Says, you're always relieved when things that are that important are done, but I was also very confident we would get it done. It wasn't just empty thoughts of getting it done. I really believed it was just a matter of him working through it. He came to the conclusion he came to. He didn't even want to raise, which was actually a surprise to us, but that's so on brand for Connor there and Jeff Jackson. Not only Jeff Jackson, but also him and Stan Bowman saying, they're giving Connor McDavid as much time as he absolutely needs to. There was no rush to get into it whatsoever. It was all on Connor's terms there, and I think Connor McDavid respected that as well. And even though he had us all on the edge of the seats as the days went on during the summer months there, eventually he got it done there. And again, what a contract. It still blows my mind, and we're still, 2 weeks into the newest contract for Connor McDavid there. 12 and a half for 2 years. I mean, what a steal of a deal there. And even going back to the summer, Jeff Jackson, they're chilling lakeside there. It's not going to be a long negotiation, and it wasn't a long negotiation at all for Jackson, Bowman, and the Oilers. The number that Connor took for his cap it, what were the options over 1 or 2 years? He's not taken, $12.5 million for an extended period of time. So it's a decision he made in the short term that we have 3 years at $12.5 million. And yeah, our goal is to continue to be a good team and be there at the end. His deal doesn't change that. I don't feel like we're on the clock any more than we were on the clock 2 years ago, to be honest, as many people, myself, after Connor signed that deal, is okay, it's go time for the Oilers. When in all honesty, it's been go time for the Edmonton Oilers since the start of Connor McDavid's career. I mean, it's not too often that they get a generational player just fall into their laps like that. I know you can go on and on about the first overall picks that the Oilers got over the years. I know the decade of darkness helped them with that much, but I mean, McDavid, he's a special player, and putting him next to Leon Draisaitl there, I mean, it was day one, 10 years ago in 2015 that the clock started to get the Oilers a sixth Stanley Cup banner there. So you can put all the the Rangers and Connor McDavid rumors to rest, and not only that, but also the McDavid in the Leafs trade rumors. As Jeff Jackson, he mentioned that the Oilers weren't looking at trading him. I think there were lots of teams that were, maybe looking at it and wondering what's going to happen there. But ultimately, there were no trade offers, and we weren't thinking that at all there. So the Oilers, in Jeff Jackson, in Stan Bowman, even though a lot of teams around the NHL, I mean, I was even reading the articles, how much cap space every single team would have going into next summer for Connor McDavid. But, every other franchise in the NHL, all 31 teams, they are very sad that they don't get a crack at Connor McDavid there. But Connor McDavid gets a crack at the New York Islanders as they take on the Islanders on Long Island. 5:30 Mountain Time there. The Oilers still on that 5-game road trip there. Thursday night on Long Island and Saturday afternoon in New Jersey there. So it should be, a testament to how the Oilers can build off of this early season success there. Even though, the stats not too kind to them, even though, the goals against per 60, not even at a goal yet, but it's the goals for per 60 and just trying to generate more 5-on-5, which the Oilers have faced 3 fantastic goalies so far to begin the season. Dustin Wolf in the season opener, Thatcher Demko, who, nearly stole a game against the Oilers, and then Igor Shesterkin there. And then the Oilers will not be going up against Ilya Sorokin. It will be David Rittich there. So, a calmer matchup for the Oilers tonight there. But again, outshooting the opposition 68-47, 5-on-5 there. So the Oilers defensively, they're a defensive stalwart to begin the year. It's just, building up on that 5-on-5 offense there. But it's a whole lot better than last year, according to Mike Kelly here. He's big into the sport logic analytics here. I mean, you go back to last year, the first 3 games, 230 shot attempts, but only 99 shots. And then you compare it to this year, 180 shot attempts and 101 shots. And then outscoring last year's team by 5 there, 8 goals to 3. I mean, the first 3 games for the Oilers last year, that was just an absolute nightmare. I mean, you can go back to those videos last year, and I was not a happy camper whatsoever there. But Kris Knoblauch's thoughts on the Oilers so far, the first 2 games. I think we generated quite a bit, especially in the second game against Vancouver. I think our expected goals for that game were 6.5, which is very high. The only reason they didn't get 6, actually, is, of course, because of Thatcher Demko, but it's only been 3 games, and we've seen some pretty good goaltending, but there's always room for improvement. I don't think we did enough against New York the other night, which I can agree with. I don't think our chances were what they should have been, and, a lot of credit to the Rangers, the way they played. I liked what we've created offensively, and I believe that it's just a matter of time before we score more than we have there. But the good news is the Oilers haven't had to rely on McDavid or Draisaitl or the power play. I mean, there's been numerous times over the last couple of years where the Oilers relied on the power play to win them games. But the last game against the Rangers, I mean, the 2 goal scorers were Trent Frederick in Adam Henrique there, despite, Connor McDavid getting the assist on the Henrique goal, but they've relied, a lot on those bottom 6 forwards there to help them get the job done. It's not just a 2-man power trip in Edmonton, no more. It is a full team effort there. And even on the back end, Echo and Bouchard, Nurse and Stetcher, Kulak and Emberson, getting in front of the puck, which they've, done to perfection over the last 3 games there. Again, they've only held the opposition to 47 shots at 5-on-5 there. Taking a look at the lineup tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. This is still from the practice yesterday on Long Island, but it looks to be the exact same to begin the game tonight, with Mangiapane, McDavid, and Tomasic getting elevated to the top line there, which I love to see there from Kris Knoblauch, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Leon Draisaitl, in Jack Roslovic, Vasily Podkolzin, Trent Frederick, and Kasperi Kapanen. And on the fourth line there, I saw a lot of criticism between, putting Howard in Savoy on the fourth line there. But, Knoblauch likes to rotate all 4 lines as close to equal as he can there. I don't really see it as the fourth line, getting their minutes buried. I think it's just, getting Howard in Savoy, into the NHL. I think Howard will go back down to the AHL at some point there, so it's just getting him getting his feet wet in the National Hockey League, and the extra 3 forwards from yesterday morning. Don't expect to see them tonight with Matisse Janmark, Noah Phillip in Curtis Lazar, and then Echo and Bouchard, Nurse and Stetcher, and then Kulak in Emberson. But we hope to see Jake Holman this weekend at some point, whether it's against the New Jersey Devils or against his former team, the Detroit Red Wings, on Sunday afternoon there. And Stuart Skinner getting the start in net following that tremendous shutout against the New York Rangers. And Stuart Skinner is 1 win away from 100 in his career there, and 5 away from tying Cam Talbot for 5th most Oiler goalie wins in their Oiler career. There you can see a who's who, Grant Fuhr, Bill Ranford, Tommy Salo, an underrated Oiler legend. In my mind, you don't have to, don't look at what he did with Team Sweden there at the '02 Olympics, but Tommy Salo, always near and dear to my heart there, the first goalie I ever loved. And then Andy Moog, and then Cam Talbot there. So an opportunity for Stuart Skinner to get much closer in the Oiler record book there. Taking a look at the opposition for tonight, the New York Islanders still have yet to win a game this season there, and being outscored 7-13 with a -6 goal differential there. But this year wasn't supposed to be anything big for the New York Islanders. Just taking a look at their lineup for tonight, David Riddick, the former Calgary Flame, I'm sure he still sees the Oilers in his nightmares there, are getting the start for the Islanders between the pipes tonight. And then Jonathan Duran, Bo Horvat, and Emil Heineman make up their first line there. Anthony Duclair, Matt Barzal, and Kyle Palmieri. And then Anders Lee, Pajot, and Shabanov, and then McLean, Cizikas, and Holmstrom make up the Islanders forward core there. And then the first overall pick with Matthew Schaefer next to Scott Mayfield there, Alec Pellick, and Ryan Pullock. And then Alexander Romanov, and then Tony DeAngelo there. Not exactly, an impressive Islander lineup there, but there's no easy win in the National Hockey League. So hopefully the Oilers can try to break out 5-on-5 and get something going offensively there. But that is it for today's video, folks. Let me know down in the comments what are your thoughts towards the Oilers tonight, and who is the player in your in your eyes are you going to focus on a little bit more tonight. I think I'm going to focus on Jack Roslovic a little bit more. I'd like to see what he could do next to Leon Draisaitl and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins there. I mean, Nugent and Draisaitl have tremendous chemistry. We saw that a few years ago there, the Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Leon Draisaitl, and Kyler Yamamoto, the dry line connecting until the world shut down. But hopefully that magic can come together tonight. But again, let me know down in the comments, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe here to the channel. Folks, enjoy the game tonight. Let's go Oilers. I'm Matt.